So, Dr. Agarwal, you can start again.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. The voice is clear, I believe.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is clear.
All right, ma'am. So we were discussing about the very important aspect. That is why I had paused over there so that we can start afresh the new topic. So I was discussing the how we exactly calculate the journal impact factor. I'll brief on this quickly and then I'll move on to the project research work part as well. So I'll just share this full screen. All right. So what we can see over here is we have that is calculated in the next slide. So for example, I had taken one example that is visible over here in this screen. So citation of in 2007 to articles published in 2005 was 100. This is how the impact factor is being calculated. This is one of the examples. The citation in 2007 to articles published in 2006 was 50. So the total citation in 2007 to a particular article published in 2005 and 6 comes out to be 150. All right. So the number of articles published in 2005 was 40 and 2006 was 60. These were the upper one, the red one are the citation and the green ones are the published articles. So how we calculate the total impact factor? This is one of the way. There are the multiple indexing sources used to follow different. This is one of the basic way to calculate. Like I had demonstrated, the basic way to calculate the H index and the I10 index. So the total number of articles published in 2005 and 6 is 100. So hence the impact factor of one of the way to calculate the basic impact factor comes out to be 1.5. All right. So what exactly a literature review is? We know what exactly a literature review is. So I'll try to skip these. And I will move on to the project work which we had completed. So I believe that the the research methodology concept is very clear to all of us so that I can move ahead for the discussion of the more technical part of the project of the today's discussion. All right. So now we all can see the screen of the account dormancy project. This was the project I had completed earlier. And in this project, one expert was from banking field and the another expert was from the industry. And I was one of the member of the project. So we had completed this project. So what are the business understandings? So I'll discuss more on the dormancy project, then we'll move ahead. So the business understanding, what is the business understanding in this? We need to identify the factors that contribute towards a bank account becoming dormant. What exactly a dormant is that I'll discuss, then we'll move ahead. So, in field of banking or in many other fields, making new customers or getting new customers is very tough. We all know in the current competitive world, getting a customer to a specific bank or getting a customer to a specific AD service provider is very tough. And this what exactly dormant over here is? Dormant is deep sleep. That means that there are multiple accounts. There are more than lakhs of accounts in a big bank that are actually dormant. That means no activity is being done from the more than 2 years. If an account is there is no transaction is being done, physical transaction, that doesn't include the interest that is being added to the account. So I'm focusing upon now the banking because we had done the project on the banking sheet. So a bank account which becomes dormant is when there is no physical transaction is being done for more than 2 years. Then in India, we declare that account as the dormant account. All right. So what we have done in our project is that getting new customer is tough, but retaining that earlier customer, like one customer which is dormant, that if we don't what was the need of this research is we need to focus on all those accounts as well. Apart from getting new customer, we need to focus upon what are those dormant customers are there, that what is the problem they are facing, what are the solutions we can provide to those customers so that they can come back and being active in the banking field. That takes 6 times lesser the energy that we need to put up for a new customer. So that was the aim that we had started the project way back around 3 years back. So I was one of the member of that project, and the base idea was that the banks or any other service provider used to focus only on getting a new customers. But what we need to focus upon that the retaining that customer or waking up the dormant customer is also very important, that need to be addressed. So with that aim, we had started this project. We need to identify, we got the sample data from the banks, and I'll demonstrate how what we have done in the further slides. I had also drafted one research paper in that, which is under communication with the experts of the industry and the bank as well. One of the draft is with me of the research paper. I'll discuss that as well. So what are the technical stacks that are being there? So first, what we had done a data collection through the Google Forms. We had contacted the customers which were dormant of a specific bank, and we had multiple fields that I'll demonstrate further. So why they are dormant, what are the problems that they were facing so that they are not active in the discussion. Second step is we had the data stored using the Microsoft Excel from that Google format. We had done the Python, used the Python for the model building. Then in the later part, we had used the Python Flask for model deployment, and finally the HTML for the user interface. All right. So this is the research paper also I am having with me. I'll also discuss some of the points from my research paper, which is under review, that cannot be, completely shown in the slides because that is under review. So in this, we had discussed about the dormant customer prediction that helps in, identifying the, those customers who are probably to stop a subscription or product or services that we identify. Because if a customer is not using the resources of a bank or any other services, then definitely he is about to, or they had already left the bank or about to leave the bank. All right. So what we have done in that, so what we have decided is to the dormant customers account prediction that is very, very valuable for the customer retention. Retention is also quite important, more important even than getting a new customer sometimes. So as it helps in, as it helps in predicting customers that are at a risk of send off. So it is more challenging to put forth dormant customers prediction in the banking sector, as there are no contractual agreement between a customer and the bank regarding the duration of service. That is why we have taken up this challenge. That in many cases, that like in subscription, you are about to be bounded that if you have taken a subscription of 1 year of any online platform, then you are bounded for the 1 year. You have already paid for 1 year. Even if you don't use or you have left, then company need not to be bothered about that because you are bounded for 1 year. You have already paid for that. But in bank, we don't have any any such what we can say as a contract that you will be our customer, you will be doing the transaction for the next 10 years or something. So this makes this banking industry more prone to have a dormant customer. So loss of customers, can be very costly, as it is very expensive to obtain new customers in this age of competition. All right. So also it has been observed that the loss of customers is very costly, and also it has been observed that making new customers cost almost 6 times higher than turning the dormant customer into an active one, that I just already discussed, and I was discussing the same from my drafted research paper, that the new customer, making new customer, it cost almost more than 6 times that to retain or to wake up or to turning that dormant customer into active one. So there were very few dormant customer prediction techniques that are available before our research work. However, application of machine learning have not been used so far for this purpose in any of the research papers that we had found in our literature survey. So in this project, we had applied these techniques for dormant customer prediction. The results are evaluated and analyzed using the supervised machine learning techniques to justify the efficiency and effectiveness of our research. All right. So this is the complete layout of our project that we had created. All right. So this is where our research had started from the very beginning, which we can say as the data preparation. We have this data preparation where we will in this area, I believe you all can see. So in the data preparation, we fulfill the null values and with median and mode. I'll show that data set also, which we had created and which is under communication with a good journal. So we have find the last transaction based on the, we had multiple fields also that I believe that will come in the later slides. All right. So what we have done over here, we had put at the raw data and we have done the EDA part. EDA, if the audience, any of the audience are from the machine learning or the AI field, then they must be knowing the EDA. What we need to do is there are two major parts in that. First is the data cleaning and the second part is the feature engineering. All right. So what we need to do, we need to first remove the outliers. So there are four typical methods that are being used to remove the outliers. One is the standard deviation. Another is the interquartile range. You must be knowing. Most used one is the standard deviation, media access deviation, and the isolation forest are the multiple techniques that are available for the outlier detection and reduction. Then we've done the SMOT analysis. After that, we had done I'll show each and every step that we are discussing in this figure in the upcoming slides. So don't worry about any complexity that you might be seeing in this figure. I'll discuss each and every step in this upcoming slides. So then we have done the factor analysis. After that, we had done the target encoding. After that target encoding, we had used the machine learning models to, to model the training. Multiple machine learning, models are being deployed, and by the AutoML and by using multiple machine learning models, we had come to a conclusion for the random forest. How we had come to the conclusion for using the random forest, and then we had trained the model. And in the last part, the model evaluation is need to be done. So how this model evaluation we had done? First, we had used the optimal model with selected features and the performance. Then we had also again tried all these model on a new data. Like once we had tried on our data that we had collected, and then we again tried and doing the testing on that. So then we were able to see that are we able to predict that dormancy or not? That was the whole concept over here that I'll discuss in the upcoming slides as well. All right. So this data collection, how we had collected the data. All right. So how we had collected the data that we can see over here in these slides, and I have that my research paper as a write-up as well. So on the basis of the transactions, transaction behavior, the customers are categorized into, we can categorize into three categories. What were the three categories that we had come up with with our project work is? One is the active customers, obviously that the customers who are doing transaction regularly in the banking. Another point comes out to be the inactive customers, that the customers who do not, not done transaction in the last 12 months with respect to the, as of now that we had collected the data. So as of now, what are the, in the period of 12 months, there were three categories that we had met. All right, and in the third phase, customers that in India, that is for the 24 months. In India, I cannot claim for the complete world, but in India, that the rule is for the 24 months, that the customers who do not have done transactions in the last 24 months, with respect to today, that I had taken that data and put it in the dormant customer mode. All right. So we had data collected through a survey over a period of time of around a month. The data stored in the Google form and exported to the Excel sheet. And this can be considered only as a sample and does not reflect the total population of the data. So these were the features that we had created in our data set during the creation of the data set. So that was the age, gender, education, occupation, account type was the business account or the personal account. Having that account was the having the minimum balance during that tenure or not. Is that customer is having more than one account? So that might be that the bank which is having the another account that is being provided more facilities. So we can, we are lagging behind somewhere in the competition. So we can evaluate and do give similar response, similar what we used to say, similar facilities to our customers again. All right. There were multiple other features like they are using any credit card, mobile banking, internet banking. Is there were a loan that is with that account or not? What was the transaction done in the last 12, 24 months? The address which we in India, the mandate is to have the permanent address with the bank. So is that address of that which is available with the bank is very far from the bank which was doing the transaction? Is that any distance issue that is being one of the factors of the dormancy or not? So then we have done the descriptive analysis. So in that, the data segregated by the data types and categories, we had done the scattered plot, heat map, count, or the frequency plot. We have been, taken into consideration to visualize. In this EDA, what we have done is we in EDA, there is a distribution of the output classes that we can see over here. So the inactive accounts has the lowest representation in the database, and inactivity is the first step towards the dormancy. So we can include that also that are inactive because that are more than 1 year. So that anytime that may lead to become a dormant. So that also we are taken into consideration. So this is the, we can see the visualization of the visualization of the categorical variable distribution, that is the analysis of bank service satisfaction with respect to the output variables. So we had done a survey into which we had come up with the possible solutions that we were searching for the dormancy. So in this, we can see in the x-axis, we have the features category, and in the y-axis, we have multiple outputs. One is the need of improvement. So the most of the active customers have said that yes, there are multiple needs of improvement that we had, filled up by the Google Sheet. So satisfaction with the services. So there were yes or no that were the features that we had collected. Then this is the visualization study suggested that the clear relationship between the customer satisfaction and the account dormancy. All right. So that is also same that I had discussed in my research paper. So what we have noticed in this, in our research work, what we have noticed is these are some of the results that I had come up with with my, this was the heat map. I'll discuss a few points from my research paper, which I cannot display in the presentation as it is under review with a very good impact factor journal. So what these are the following things that I had noted and put it in the research paper. One thing is there were 37 features available in the data set, and the observation was around 1092 observations we had collected. Since we have an imbalanced data set, so we done the SMOT analysis to create a balanced data set. This is one of the most prominent used technique. Then we had checked the null values or missing values in the data set, and we had performed the data to remove that null values. We had performed the data imputation. All right, then we had what we have done is we had filled that all those null values with the median and mode values. Obviously, the basic way to fill that null values is by using that median and mode values. What we have done next is we had the information is in the two features. We had taken two features, that the city and the current city initial during the data and during the data taking. So that is being merged in the later part into a new Boolean variable that we had created as the LOC change. Okay, then there were 13 features that have more than 70% of null values during the data collection. So that is also based on the characteristics and the values. The following features have been, that 17 features have been dropped. All right. So those were those features were, those features was the timestamp, score, name, multiple accounts were the multiple features that were dropped during the computation of the project. Then there were 4 features that has been displaying the unique values of all the categorical data was the aim. Then there were multiple steps, and the that we'll discuss further in this presentation. There were the multiple results that we can see over here. All right. So further in our research paper, the EDA we had done, that the results that we can see over here. Then after that, we had done the feature engineering. So in EDA, what we have done, the customers who are not satisfied with the services are more dormant. That the conclusion what we had taken after the EDA, that we had done the exploratory data analysis using that heat map that I had just shown. And what are the conclusions that I had drawn, that I'll discuss in a minute, and then we'll move further to the feature engineering. So one of the conclusions that we had drawn, that I had mentioned in my research paper, is so no frill accounts and the senior citizen accounts are more dormant compared to the other accounts that I had concluded from the EDA. Further, the customers having multiple accounts are more dormant accounts. So we had come up to the conclusion that there are some possibilities of the other banks which are providing much more good facilities. So we had suggested to have an comparative analysis and do that needful to the customers. Then we had one more conclusion by EDA, that the account having loans are less prone to dormancy, and they are very serious with their work, and they in our study that is shown that is very less prone to the dormancy. Customers who do not have internet banking and credit card associated with the account are more dormant in number. That is also one of the conclusion that I had drawn we had drawn in our research work by the EDA, is that all those customers which were not having this.
Dr. Agarwal, can I interrupt? I think,
yes,
sir,
yes.
your slides are not moving.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So these were the I was not it was not moving. I forgot to move. I was discussing from my research paper, so I forgot to move that slides. So in this slide, we had come up to the research, feature selection based on the hypothesis testing. That is one of the parts that we had done. So in null hypothesis, we had assumed that no relationship that exists between the features and y, and the second part, we had assumed that there exists a relationship and with the dormancy to the accounts. Then we have having the missing value imputation, that is being discussed in this slide. And that is also in our research paper that we had done. All right. So imputation of variables were done with one of the 3 following methods. One was the targeted imputation, in which values were imputed based on the corresponding output category only. Another was the median value of each output category which are used. And the third one was the Miss Forest, one of the very prominent algorithm, which is the random forest based imputer method is being used. So hypothesis testing revealed that the identical behaviors between the imputed and the native data, and only the first and the third method were used in our model. How we had handled the outlier in our model. So the following two methods were used to handle the outlier and identification. One was the MAD that we use, very prominently, which is the median absolute deviation, and the another one was the isolation forest. So combining the imputation and the outlier detection methods, there are four data sets with which the different machine learning models can be built and evaluated. So how we had done the model building, that is more important. So we had used the lazy classifier that we can see in this slide. The lazy classifier suggests the basic performance results of the different classifiers that has mentioned in my research paper as well. So in this, we can see there are multiple machine learning models that is not, that is can be done manually also, but that is very time consuming. If we used to do the things manually, then it becomes very time consuming. So we had used this lazy classifier that, suggested the basic, performance results of the different classifiers. And we had come up to the conclusion that we had used the random forest model that is the best that we can see in this slide also. We had come up with the best accuracy with the random forest that is, we had used in our model, which is the random forest model summary with the training and the testing data that we can see over here. The active account, the dormant account, the inactive, what was the accuracy, and both with the training and the testing data that we can see over here. So pipeline was built to perform the transformation and model building. All right. So please note that the model results are based on the survey data, which may be biased. Obviously, there is no any standard data available yet to decide these. All right, so these were the findings that we had done, and further this deployment phase is currently we are currently deploying it. We had not yet deployed since the paper is still under review. So the deployment phase is currently going on. We are working with experts that are associated with us that will be helping us to deploy all those things that we had created in our research work. All right, so we had also created a word cloud that I believe I had not mentioned in this slide. So from the word cloud, we had also come to a conclusion that we'll be winding up in a few minutes. So in the word cloud that we had came to conclusion, through the word cloud that the customer should be provided with attractive offers, that we had came to a conclusion. Then upgrading to the latest financial technology is one of the suggestions that our model has given, that many banks that were not prone to working with their app, there were many government banks with the data which what we had gone through is those government banks which are not very active on their banking applications. Those customers were more prone to the dormant. It is also important to provide the rewards to the accounts, to the customers, that maintains the activity of the customers. That is why we need to see multiple offers, again and again from the banks, that it makes the customer somehow active and involved with the transactions. We need to improve the customer support service. Many government banks which we had studied are very poor in their online customer support services. Meet customer demands for on-the-go services is also one of the conclusions that we had drawn. And to improve the local bank branch experience was very poor during the data collection. We had seen that the branch experiences of the customer was very poor. So better fraud and identity theft customer support is also one of the concern of the customer that was shown and we concluded through our EDA. All right. So this was the, I'll just wind up this quickly because the time is running out. So these were the deployment phase is still going on. We had already, we had almost deployed that model and we'll be discussing with some of the industry experts so that we can somehow we can actually deploy that to the customer in the real-time banking as well. All right. So I believe that must be informative for the all the audience that were present in the meeting. So this was the project that I had done with the industry experts, and that I believe that would be useful for all the research scholars who want to do work in the sector of machine learning or artificial intelligence. You can join us in our labs whenever, as per the standard procedure of the MOU, whenever you will be coming to our campus of the Galgodias University. We are having very good facilities of research over here. We are having very qualified faculties ranging from our SPOC Ganga Sharma madam to our dean to myself. There are multiple experts of the machine learning and artificial intelligence working in our campus. So whenever you will be finding time, you can visit us. We are available online as well. We all know, and we are guiding the students as well. So whatever help that is required, we are ready to be here. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. I wind up my lecture over here and I'm open to any general questions if you have. I
Yes,
cannot
thank
share
you.
that exact data with all of
Okay,
us
no
because
problems.
that is under
Yeah.
discussion.
No problem, sir. So thank you, sir, for such an elaborated presentation on, first of all, the research methodology part was very informative. And then this thing which you actually have done with partnership with the industry. So this was very helpful. I think all the participants would agree with this. So before taking up the questions, I would just, as a formality, I would ask all of you to please turn on your video camera so that we can have a photograph quickly. So all of you, all the participants, Dr. Agarwal, can you just stop sharing the screen so that I can have all the participants on screen for a photograph? Okay. So please turn on your video camera so that we can have a photograph.
Electricity. We can wait.
No, it's okay, I think. Thank you very much. So if any one of you are having any questions, you can pose the questions to Dr. Agarwal.
So dear colleagues, do you have any questions?
And if you might not having any question, you can post also on my email that is available on the group as well. And post any suggestions or questions later also. But whenever you'll find you'll be doing on that work, and if you'll find any difficulty further also, you can send me Telegram message also. We are available on the Telegram as well as we are available on the email every time.
Okay, Dr. Agarwal, I will send my questions via Telegram or
please.
to your email because I have a lot of questions.
All right,
also
sure, ma'am, sure.
Yes, also my research area is about machine learning.
Very good, ma'am. Very good to know. Even that cannot be addressed directly in the in this meeting. That require a lot of computation. So you can please send me on the Telegram or on the email. So we'll further discuss one-on-one on that.
Also, I'm preparing papers for international conferences if you have time, should I send this paper to check for you?
Please, no issues. We are 24 hours. We are doing these work. 24 hours in India. The Galgotias over here, the Ganga ma'am, the Dean ma'am, Dr. Munish. We already used to do this 24 hours. You can discuss with us anytime. I am already guiding 5 PhD scholars here in India in multiple universities. We used to do this regularly. Don't worry, you can send any time to us. We are already organizing also 3 international conferences in the upcoming 6 to 10 months.
December you have.
Yes. We are also. I am also available on the
paper for this.
Telegram group. Also, I am there. So you can discuss with me. You can discuss with Ganga ma'am. You can discuss with our dean sir. And we are very eager to do good research work in the MOU collaboration with your university.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ganga ma'am. I believe I have done my work.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was very helpful, very informative, and very elaborated presentation on both the topics of research methodology and that dormant account finding through machine learning. Very elaborated presentation you have given. So for now, let's. This is time to say bye, and we'll again meet. But next week we are having a lot of holidays here in India. So next week we might not be able to plan a webinar, but in the next week we'll be again having this webinar. So
okay. Also, I have congratulations because tomorrow in Uzbekistan it is Teachers' Day. That's why. Yes,
okay.
Have also holidays. That's why I congratulate you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of us, all the teachers present here in this meeting.
All right.
Thank you.